Part 2. Back to my commentary. Anyway, this guy named Greedo shows up and talks about this guy that Han owes a ton of money to. His name is Jabba, a guy that's dangerous, and Greedo is willing to kill Han over the whole thing. Han says, "Over my dead body," and then Greedo says, "That's the idea," implying that he's gonna shoot him. Meanwhile, Han is surreptitiously preparing his blaster under the table. He even pretends to be interested in the stucco wall for a minute to distract him. Then he fires under the table and kills Greedo in cold blood. Literally in cold blood, because I think Greedo's a reptile. Who's playing the drums again, goddammit? Then for the special edition, it was changed to Greedo firing first for some strange reason. They digitally moved Harrison Ford's torso to try and make it look like he was dodging the shot. It looked terrible. It wasn't what the shot was supposed to be, and it was totally unnatural looking. Now we get to this new added Jabba scene. So Jabba shows up at the Falcon looking for Han Solo. Now for those of you who don't know, this scene was originally shot with an actor in place of Jabba. A portly Fred Flintstone looking man in animal furs who was supposed to be replaced later by a stop motion monster of some kind. But Lucas ran out of money and time. But now he adds the scene back into the movie and replaces the man completely with the CGI Jabba that goes from terrible looking to terrible looking. Han walks around the actor in the original scene, so in the special edition they digitally push up Harrison Ford to make it look like he stepped on Jabba's tail. How anyone didn't see that was the worst idea ever is beyond me. I love this shootout. It's brief, but it's exactly what it's supposed to be. The troopers show up with the intention of murdering everyone there, just like they did with the Jawas. Practical on-set pyrotechnics and explosions look great, and the editing is quick and superb. Hey guys, this is no time to play chess. Oh wait, I guess that's their seats. I love how Alec Guinness skeptically looks around the cockpit at the controls and the construction of the ship, just wondering if they're fucked or not. He's an experienced space traveler and adventurer, so he knows what's up. You know, Leia standing there makes me wonder what Darth Vader smells like. You think he's got a colostomy bag? It's gotta be a real process getting your old, shriveled up gray penis out of a suit like that. Do you think he takes his black gloves off or not when he tinkles? Them gloves gotta have all sorts of funk all over them if he doesn't. But anyway, I do love this scene. Peter Cushing is great, and so is Carrie Fisher. She's so feisty, and of course Vader can't even sense with the Force that she's his daughter. But the real thrust of this scene is this is when the stakes are really raised. Instead of just a giant floating ball in space, we are now shown that the Death Star is capable of blowing up whole planets. And our ragtag group of heroes are the only ones that can stop it. Tension, stakes, a ticking clock, heroism, and adventure. It's what makes Star Wars great. Much like the Phantom Menace, when the Gungans fight the robots to help Queen Amidala find the Viceroy so that she doesn't have to sign a treaty to make their non-violent invasion legal in the courts. Oh my god! What's wrong with your face? Luke is now training with Obi-Wan. I'm not sure why Obi-Wan wants to train Luke anyway. His mission was to get to Alderaan to help the rebellion with something. And since the Jedi are trained since the time when they're toddlers, what does Obi-Wan think he's going to accomplish in this short trip to Alderaan? You know, Grandpa, I can almost see the floating target. That's good, Luke. You've taken your first step into a much larger world. Oh no, Grandpa. I really could almost see it because the blast shield was semi-transparent. Well, let's move on to your next lesson. Infiltrating the universe's most dangerous space station. Come on, we're almost there. What do you mean? So the guy calls Tarkin on his communicatron, and they figure out that this is the ship that they're looking for. And of course, Vader's gotta go down and check it out. There's no one on board, sir.
Did our incredibly slow-moving tractor beam give them time to falsify their logs and hide somewhere on the ship?
Yes, sir, I believe so.
Good, because them abandoning their ship after takeoff makes complete sense.
Yes, sir. I'll have stormtroopers walk around the ship and do nothing in a minute. What else you gotta do right now that's so goddamn important, mister? So here, Luke, Han, and Chewie murder 9 people in cold blood. God, I love movies made in the 70s. I don't think anyone was killed in the Star Wars prequels. Instead, we see robots getting chopped up with lightsabers. That's why this scene is great, and those scenes suck. I love it when Han and Luke just shoot everyone.
Lord Vader, can you hear me?
Yes, my master.
I can sense that there are a bunch of assholes in the control room on the Death Star.
What?
Yes. They are looking through all of our shit, and Kenobi is with them.
Obi-Wan Kenobi? I will take care of this, my master.
Excellent. Wipe them out. All of them.
So Obi-Wan fights Vader now.
The circle is now complete. When I left you, I was but the learner. Now I am the master.
Only a master of evil, Darth.
Hot damn, you show him, Obi-Wan. You were all that in a bag of chips. Wait, didn't Obi-Wan say that there were alternatives to fighting? Like an hour ago? Whatever. So they awkwardly hit each other's lightsabers with each other's lightsabers for a few minutes, and then Obi-Wan lets Darth Vader cut him down in front of Luke. Well, for one, I guess because he knew that leaving the sword fight and getting over to the ship would not only be incredibly awkward, but very difficult. And if Luke saw Obi-Wan get killed, he might be filled with anger and vengeance, and then he'd be motivated to try to blow up the Death Star. Although aren't emotions like anger, hate, and revenge paths to the dark side? This whole thing was kind of a mixed message. So anyway, Han gets his reward now, I guess. Jesus Christ, how devalued is the currency that the rebellion uses? It's gotten like 25 cases or something. Here, Han, your reward. It's 17,000 Republic credits as promised. But we only have rebellion rubles. So that converts to 168 trillion of those. We had to give it to you in 26 crates. Or maybe they paid him in a mildly precious metal, like zinc. We said we'd give you 17,000 credits, but we didn't say how. Here's some zinc, asshole. Have fun loading it yourself too, prick. At the end, Luke is flying in an X-Wing attacking a Death Star. And you say to yourself, Self? I can't believe that just 2 hours ago all this movie was 2 robots wandering around the desert and Luke complaining about his chores. Now watch this. R2-D2 gets shot in the head by Vader and explodes. And then when Luke reacts and looks back, there's nothing wrong with R2-D2. How about you fix that, you assholes? But at last we come to the point of the whole movie. That Luke blows up the Death Star finally. But Star Wars is also about the characters. It's about Luke, a nothing little asshole that discovers he's got it in him to do great things if he'd just stop acting so f***y. He also learns that he and everyone else would have died horribly if Han Solo didn't come back to save him. What's with that shit anyways? Darth Vader immediately sets a course to go buy a lottery ticket. Well, I guess if you're gonna have one sole survivor of this whole Death Star fiasco, I guess it's good that it's Darth Vader, you know? His toys will sell a lot better for the next movie. A lot better than the even more older and even more meaner Grand Moff Tarkin. Here comes Han! Now sure, Han pretends to be excited for everybody, but really on the inside he's thinking about the least awkward way that he can ask for more zinc. So no minorities or women are X-Wing pilots, homosexual robots are slaves, and 2 white guys just killed over 1 million people. Let's celebrate our freedom! Now Chewbacca doesn't get a medal because he isn't white. He might as well be called Jewbacca. Anyway, regardless of the pointless special edition changes or the embarrassment of the prequels, Star Wars will always remain a classic movie that will survive. It's a classic literary tale of good versus evil, depicted in a corny science fiction world. And the message will always remain pure and simple. You can add all the rocks you want, you can make all the video games, and turn Darth Vader into a silly dancing asshole, but you could never completely undo the impact that Star Wars has had on the imaginations of millions of people, including me. Well, everyone, thank you for listening to me complain about Star Wars for 2 hours. It's been a pleasure.